I don't know about you, but lately I have really been on a comfort food kick. I've just been really loving comfort foods these days. So I've got a good one for you coming up, so stick around. Hi, Debbie Chu here from Chew on Vegan. Welcome back to my kitchen. If you're new here, I'm a plant-based RN that follows a whole food plant-based diet with a focus on protein. At 68 years old, I definitely need to focus my diet on protein. It's so important to retain and build muscle. It helps protect our bones. Strong muscles help protect our bones. So it's really important to me at this stage of my life. So if that's something that you're into, then please subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a video, which is every week. And you can follow me on Instagram for more plant-based content. So a couple of videos ago, I made this really delicious soup, and I've just been craving more comfort kind of foods. I'm not sure why, but I'm just going to go with it. Of course, this recipe is going to be low fat, it's going to be high protein, it's going to have fiber, and it will be delicious. It's also going to be gluten-free. And one of my favorite comfort foods are pancakes, and I really love this recipe. It was inspired by Natalie Matthews. It's somebody that I follow on Instagram, and she made this really quick, easy pancake recipe, so I tweaked it a little bit for my taste. I've made many pancake recipes on this channel, and but I've never really made a high protein one. So this recipe is going to be higher in protein. It's going to be low fat, so it's going to be great for weight loss, super delicious. But before I start the recipe, I just wanted to mention something, that to make this recipe a little bit higher in protein, I am going to be using protein powder. And I know some of you out there really don't like protein powder, and you don't have to use it in this recipe. You could just replace it with flour, but then you're not going to really have a high protein recipe. But as a vegan, and especially someone who's gluten-free, it's really a challenge for me to hit my protein goals, because I am trying to build muscle, so I want to eat a certain amount of grams of protein a day. So to do that, I have to get creative, and adding protein powder is just an easy way to do that. So if protein powder is not your thing, then I totally understand, but give it a try and you'll be amazed, increasing your protein, how it can change the way you feel. So let's get started on that pancake recipe. So we're going to start with the dry ingredients first. So I have about 90 grams of gluten-free flour in here. That's about 3/4 cup. And I'll leave the full recipe down below with the grams and then just like the cups and things like that. So if you don't have a scale, but I highly recommend that you measure your food. And then I've got 74 grams of some unflavored protein powder. And this is about, I think it's a little more than half a cup. And then I've got a half a teaspoon of vanilla powder. If you don't have vanilla powder, then just use a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then I've got 2 teaspoons of baking powder. So I'm going to add this all together and give it a quick whisk. Now this is a fantastic recipe for a brunch. It makes 3 servings, so you could also use it to help food prep. So you could eat one on Sunday morning and then save the other 2 servings for during the week. And they freeze great, and you could just pop them in the toaster to reheat them. And now for the wet ingredients. I just have a half a cup of applesauce, unsweetened. And I just like buying these little individual ones, and it's just the perfect amount. If you did want this sweeter, you could add a tablespoon or so of maple syrup. I'm also going to be using some soy milk, which is also higher in protein. I've got about 1.25 cups-ish here, maybe 1.5 cups. I'm going to start with 1 cup and then see the consistency. You know, depending on where you live, you know, the humidity, the altitude, all that. So a cup might not be enough for you. Like today it's really hot out, so we'll see how it goes. So we'll go with about 1 cup. and then we'll whisk that in here. And I like a thick batter, but you know, I don't want it too thick. And it does thicken up as it sits here. All right, I think I'm gonna go ahead and add the rest of the milk. And I think that's a little more my liking here. All right, let's preheat our griddle and get these going. I'm gonna be using a 1/3 cup measuring cup to put it on my griddle here. I've got it set at 350, I don't know if I said that. And I'm just gonna let it get nice and hot, and that way it will not stick. And then I'm gonna use a little spoon here to get everything out of the measuring cup. So then we just get it on the griddle here. And I just kind of spread them out a little bit so they're nice circular. And if you wanted to make them smaller, you could. It's up to you. I like a bigger size pancake. And then we'll just cook them, you know, a couple minutes on each side, or maybe a couple more than a couple minutes. You know, I think you know how to make pancakes. You just want them to kind of get dry around the edges and get some bubbles. These are looking really pretty. I usually get about 9, so it's about 3 pancakes per serving. All right, we're just gonna let these go. I'll flip them. I'm just gonna continue to make the rest of my pancakes. Okay, these are looking pretty good. Let's see. Oh yeah. Those look beautiful. Just another couple minutes on this side, and then I'll finish up making the pancakes, and then I'm going to show you how I finish them off. All right, I got my 3 pancakes here, and I'm just going to top it with this. No, it's not whipped butter, but it's my Greek yogurt. And I tell you, I use this on everything. Pancakes, pizza, bagels, whatever I can think of. It's my favorite thing in the whole world. All right, so let's give these a taste. So I'm just gonna spread this delicious yogurt around. Who needs butter, honestly? If you wanted to put a little maple syrup on there, you go right ahead. No need to do that for me. This yogurt is all I need. All right, let's take a quick little bite here. And you can see how fluffy they are. Amazing. Let's give it a taste. Unbelievable. If these pancakes don't get you excited for breakfast, I don't know what will. They're so good. I will put the full macros down below, but tentatively, these pancakes for serving, they're under 300 calories. They're about 275 calories, give or take. And we've got, oh wait, I lied. These are about 285 calories with the yogurt on top. You could choose to leave that off, but I don't know why you would. And then for protein, 24 grams of protein in those 3 pancakes. I mean, that's pretty good bang for your buck, I gotta admit. Only 4 grams of fat and about 36 carbs. So that's a good deal for me. If you are lucky enough not to have celiac, or you don't have a gluten sensitivity, then use whatever kind of flour you would like. You could use just regular wheat flour, that would be fine. It's gonna work just fine. You could use oat flour if you would prefer that. If you wanted to make it even higher protein, you could use quinoa flour. But quinoa flour is a little bit expensive, and I wanted to make a recipe that all of us could enjoy and afford. So quinoa is a little bit pricey. I use my quinoa flour for my bagels, so I kind of reserve it for that. Makes it very special. But anything you want to use is just fine. And again, if you don't want to use the protein powder, then just substitute your flour for that. Like I said, it's not going to be as high in protein, but they will still be delicious. If you like this video, if you learned something, then please give it a like and share it with your friends. And if you've made it this far in the video, please comment below with pancakes, and that way I know you made it to the end with me, and I really appreciate it. Be sure to check out the description box for the full recipe. Down there is also a link to my new cookbook. Well, it's not that so new anymore, but it's got over 60 recipes. A lot of them are high protein, and there's a lot of other information in there about a whole food plant-based lifestyle. And also I have an online course if you're new to this way of eating and you're trying to transition over, or maybe you need some tips and tricks to help you transition over to a whole food plant-based way of eating, then I've got an online course down there as well. And of course, please join my Facebook group, and there you're going to have support and inspiration, and it's totally free to join. Remember, all my recipes are good for you, they're good for the animals, and they're good for the planet, and what you put on your plate determines your fate. Until next time, thank you.